Hey guys, welcome to Musings with me. Today I have a message for anybody on the spiritual seeking path, specifically for non-duality. Now, I have a little story for you. Many years ago, actually maybe a decade ago, I was a earnest spiritual seeker. I would listen to lots and lots of spiritual teachers, Eckhart Tolle, Adyashanti, Gangaji, all sorts of people. And I really thought that what I really wanted was enlightenment. I mean, I remember looking at, spiritual teachers and thinking, gosh, they must have something that I don't have. And long story short, eventually that led me into a deep depression where I realized I had been hiding a lot of feelings. I've been bearing a lot of deep feelings in my spiritual kind of search, and that I was really trying to avoid those feelings by seeking. And so those feelings started coming up, and I got really depressed, and I kind of hit a wall. And not long after, I actually found someone that I'm not going to mention here, but he's a wonderful guy. He's not really a spiritual teacher. I think he's also a former spiritual seeker, and he kind of just makes videos encouraging people just to go live their lives. And I can tell you, as soon as I saw those videos, I resonated. And I want to talk about that because I feel like for a lot of people who may be in a similar position like myself, on the who are heavy seekers, you're going to satsangs, or you're watching videos, or you're reading books, or whatever, and you just you got to have enlightenment or oneness or some kind of recognition or no self recognition, whatever it is. I want to actually ask you a question. What do you really want? What do you actually want? Now, hang on. I know. First of all, I want to say this is going to sound kind of blasphemous to some people. I understand that. I also want to say that what I'm going to say is my own opinion, and it comes out of my own experience. I'm not trying to speak for anyone else. Only you who are watching the video can know what you actually want and what's best for you. So please don't think that I'm trying to tell you what to do or anything like that, because I'm not. So anyway, I want to ask you that question. What do you actually want? Now, for me, that was a pivotal question because it's about 10 years since I would say I stopped seeking pretty much permanently. I mean, I would say hopefully it's permanently. Up until now, I'm no seeking pretty much. So it's about 10 years since I stepped off the wheel of seeking, making a little pun on the wheel of samsara, but it's really the wheel of seeking. And lost my train of thought for a second. Bear with me. And I would say one of the things I've noticed is, first of all, my life has really gotten really good. It's just, to me, it's a big relief to just not be seeking after something, whether it's enlightenment or God. This is just my experience, my opinion, but it's a huge relief to just experience life just as it comes, without kind of seeking, always feeling like I have to get this, I have to meditate, or I have to do this the right way. But another thing I've been able to kind of realize is, I thought if you had asked me 10 years ago, what do you want? If you had asked me that question, I would have probably said, oh, I want enlightenment. It's all I want. I want truth. But what I didn't realize was I actually thought that was what I should want. And I know now that there's a huge difference. I can't really speak for somebody who if what you truly want is enlightenment, then by all means, I can't speak for that because I don't think I've really had that. I've certainly had a yearning for my own personal kind of self-realization, which I'm not going to talk about in this video, but It's been a wonderful journey that started about 5 years ago, where I started traveling, and I just kind of felt like there was much more to myself than I ever realized, and not in a non-duality way, just in a me way, in a human way, and I just wanted to find out what that is, and that's not non-duality. So anyway, what, let me get to the point, right? Okay, this is going to be a little long, just fair warning here. So what I thought I wanted was non-duality. What I thought I wanted was enlightenment and no self, whatever. I wanted to live like how I imagined all my favorite spiritual teachers live. But what I really wanted, and I can see this now, what I really wanted is to be happy. And what I really wanted is to just live my life and to be able to enjoy myself. Now, I think deep down, I could be wrong, but I feel like most people probably want that. And I'm talking about whether it's the guy who believes that 100% he is 100% he or she or they or whatever, they're 100% identified with their thoughts, they believe they are who they think they are, whatever. And I'm also talking about somebody who may have, seen no self and claim to be enlightened. I believe we all want to be happy, to feel good, to live our lives, and just to enjoy ourselves. It's hardwired into our brains, right? And then our brain and our body, has its own intelligence, right? Now, I'm not trying to be woo-woo here. I'm not trying to be spiritual, but I believe that, we all kind of have an inner intelligence that just it's a hard wiring that we just want to be happy. It's natural. If you ask any of us. But I've heard a lot of non-dual teachers say things like, non-duality isn't about happiness. It's not about feeling good. It's not about feeling better. It's not about being happier. It's about truth. It's about truth. I would hear that word on my spiritual seeking journey days all the time. Truth, 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 truth. And I would think that there was some external entity named truth that, I was supposed to follow or obey. Some people feel that way about God. I don't know. Again, just musings, right? So, and anyway, I would just feel like I had to do. It wasn't about what I wanted. It was about what truth or God wanted, right? And I'm speaking about this because I feel like there are some people who may be in a similar place. Now, let me get to the point and tell you what I actually mean by a similar place. 10 years ago, right before my depression, I was in the worst, pretty much probably one of the worst places of my life. My spiritual journey was taking over my life. I was in school at the time. It was taking over my education. It was taking over relationships. It was taking over, even daily living things, everything. I would go home and I would try to meditate, or I would try to figure out, like, how do I face death, how do I I would listen to spiritual teachers basically all the time, and it was literally killing me. It wasn't killing me, but it was killing my happiness for sure. And I thought I had to do it. I thought if only I do this right. I just want to hear a spiritual teacher. I want Eckhart Tolle or somebody to appear in my window, which would be pretty cool, by the way, and say, "Oh, don't worry, Jeremiah, you're doing it correctly," and then I would be happy. But again, like I said, this was taking over my life, and it was costing me. I had lost myself, and then I could hear some people say, "Well, what do you mean you lost yourself? There's no self." I lost my personality. I lost what made me me, and I had lost what I enjoyed. For me, that's music. You can see lots of instruments behind me. I am a musician, proud musician, lifelong music lover. Respect. I had lost things that I loved doing. Nature, going out for walks in nature, whatever it was, because I was so identified with the belief that what I should be after is truth. And I know I'm going to sound, like I said, I'm going to sound irreverent. I understand that. I've accepted that. But again, I want to encourage anybody who is in my position. Maybe you're also a heavy seeker. Maybe it's also really wreaking havoc in your life. Maybe you're in a dark night of the soul. If you are, my heart goes out to you. I've been in dark places myself. Maybe, maybe who knows? I don't know. But I want to encourage you to not only ask yourself, what do I really want? When I say what do I want, I mean, what do I want before I got on this path? Like, what did I basically come out of the womb wanting? I mean, and again, I think, the answer is not going to be the same for everyone, but deep down, I think we all want happiness. For me, that meant what I actually wanted, not what I thought I wanted or what I thought I should want, but what I actually wanted was just to go live my life. In fact, I would listen to people like Adishanti and others talk about once you become enlightened, then what? And they would say, well, just go live your life, enjoy your life. And then I would think to myself, well, that would be great, living my life without suffering, whatever. Now, obviously, nobody can guarantee no suffering. The body suffers, right? Our body suffers. Things happen, and we feel pain. And yes, there's a difference between pain and suffering. Yeah, I get that, right? But what I really wanted, as I said, was to go live my life. Just to live my life. I'm gonna get a little emotional because I thought I wanted to destroy myself. I thought, I wasn't supposed to want to live my life. I was supposed to just destroy myself or destroy the ego. It's all about truth. And like I said, I lost more than my life. I mean, I lost more than my lifestyle and my way of living. I lost me. Jeremiah, that's me. Hi. Well, that's my name. I lost what makes me me. I lost what I love and the ability to truly enjoy it because I thought so much that I should like something else. Or that music, it's just an illusion, right? It's just an illusion. So I just want to speak to somebody who may be in a similar place. I want to tell you, it's okay, first of all, to go do what you want. And it's also okay that if non-duality is causing you suffering, or if seeking is causing you suffering, if I could, if I could basically encourage everybody who is seeking heavily, like is it like a drug addict or something, but you're high on satsang or something. If I could encourage all of you guys to stop, just for not like stop, like just stop and notice what's here, but just to stop for your own sake, I would do that because I know how painful that is. I mean, I know how painful it is, and honestly, I'd rather just live my life and deal with things in my own way. I know, it's just like what I'm saying sounds like blasphemy, but I don't care because it feels true. So I want to give you permission that you don't have to get it right. You don't actually have to reach enlightenment. You don't have to be perfect at this non-duality game because there is no end point. That's the whole thing, isn't it? I mean, about non-duality, that it's a living thing, or I don't know. But even if you say, just look at me, I'm your buddy, Jeremiah, and say, Jeremiah, you know what, I really actually don't want non-duality. I really don't want truth. I'm really not interested in that. What I really want is just to live my life and be happy. I would say, absolutely, I get it. And I would actually say that because I feel like a lot of the times, for me, when I look on forums about non-duality and stuff like that, that's often my opinion too. Like, who cares about non-duality? Is there a self? Is there not a self? I mean, seeings come, seeings go, realizations come, realizations go, unless you're like a Buddha or something. I don't want to be chasing after this all the time. Because to me, it's an escape. It's a way to not have to deal with shit, your own shit. So I was just saying, I look on forums all the time and I see things like, people talk about no self and the vastness and the isness, and part of me just wants to say, I don't care. I don't care, and I'm afraid to, right? Because if I say that, what are people going to say? They're going to kick me out of. I'm not going to be included in the spiritual circus club, Sonic club, or whatever. But it's okay, because as soon as you step off where everyone else is, in a way, as soon as you step off what everybody else has been teaching you, that's where you begin. That's where you, in my experience, once I did that, I actually started. That's where I begun. That's where I begin. That's where I began to live. That's where I began to actually learn about what do I really want? What am I really about? Completely regardless of what anybody has told me. Any non-dual person. Anyone else. Doesn't matter. And it was the greatest freedom of my life. Resting as awareness is great. I'm seeing of no self is fine. For me. But to me, it's nothing compared to, that high you get from doing, I don't know, seeing a sunset, or going, whatever you like to do, going skiing, or in my case, playing music, or, dancing at a nightclub. I don't know. I don't do that. Do I look like I go to nightclubs? Whatever you like to do, to me, there's nothing quite like that when you can really enjoy it. And to me, one of the fastest ways to enjoy that, again, is to stop the seeking. Because the seeking isn't helping. Even non-dual teachers probably would say that. The seeking isn't helping. That's why many of them encourage you to stop seeking and just rest. And just relax and notice what's here. Because seeking doesn't help in that sense. Now, I'm not talking about living your life and having in the background of your life, a deep yearning for enlightenment or God, whatever. If that's your thing, then have at it. By all means. I'm kind of just talking about the oh my God, I have to do this. I have to do this. Hey Jeremiah, do you want to go outside today? It's a nice day. No, I have to meditate. I have to do this, and it's just and those of you who are living in that space right now, or have been there, will probably understand, because you'll know what that's like. It's hell. So I'm telling you right now, it's okay to say, you know what, fuck non-duality. I'm going to go do what I want. I'm going to go live my life. It might not feel okay. It didn't to me at first. It felt like complete blasphemy. But if nobody else gives you permission, and let your Uncle Jeremiah give you permission. Excuse me. It's okay to want what you want. It's okay to live how you want to live, and to listen to yourself. And if you feel like, yes, I'm a person and I love my personality and that makes me me, by all means. In fact, great. Let's see you. Let's actually see how we're not one consciousness only, or maybe even at all. Let's see how we're different and unique and exciting. Let's see what happens when we actually put our minds away from no self. There is no one here. Parroting things like, it's all about enlightenment, isness of the isness, and actually live our lives. Let's just try it. To me, life is too short. Maybe we're going to die, maybe not, I don't know. Do you know? Do you know? I have no idea. Who knows? But really, for those of you who feel like, I just want to be able to go live my life, I want to stop seeking, but I can't, I'm telling you, it's okay. It's really okay. And if nobody else tells you that, that's why I'm making this video. So those of you who need to hear this, hopefully will hear this. I'm not telling you to, if you're seeing a teacher, I'm not telling you to stop. I'm not telling you, I feel like, someone's making a medical related video and they say, a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not substituting medical advice. So I'm not telling you in this case to discard necessarily what your teacher is saying if it's working for you. But for me, I'm a big what works for you guy. I'm a big kind of take what works for you, leave the rest. So I would say my advice for any seekers who are just exhausted and just want to live and just to enjoy life, but they feel like they can't, is I would say take whatever works for you, whether it's resting as awareness or meditating, maybe watching your breath, whatever it is, whatever works for you, take it, but don't feel like you need to run after it and then just go live your life. Go do something you love. And at the end, does it matter if there's a self or not? Really? And why does it matter? We're all gonna die, or our bodies are gonna die. We all lose people. We all have people in our lives die. We all experience hard times, and we all hurt, and we all experience joy. I mean, does it really make a difference if there's somebody experiencing or not? If there's somebody experiencing it or not? Does it really make a difference if nobody is here? I don't know. Maybe it does. I'm just a normal schmo, I guess. But I personally, if I don't know about you, but if you have the urge to say, to think about when you're reading non-dual comments, to say like, it kind of feels like bullshit. Well, that's fine. I don't know if you should say that on a forum. People might not take kindly to that, but so yeah. In the end, just for me, what matters to me is if I'm happy. And one of the things that makes me happy is doing what I love, and having experiences and traveling and music and all sorts of things. And maybe I'll be a seeker again. Who knows what will happen? But for now, I'm pretty happy for the most part. And I just wanted to make this video again to encourage people who think they should be doing something, they should be seeking, they should be, on the path for truth, truth, truth. What about you? What about Jeremiah? What about Tim or Kate or Austin or whatever your name is? Mary, Joseph, I don't know. What about you? You matter too? Are you gonna start living for you, or you're gonna let non-duality tell you all the time what you think should be, what really might be just somebody else regurgitating their own personal experience to you? It's your choice. Best of luck.